Good day everyone and welcome. Before we begin, let me ask you a simple question. Imagine holding a glass of crystal clear water. It looks perfectly clean, but what if I told you that a single drop could contain millions of living organisms? Would you still drink it? Most people would hesitate. Yet here's something even more astonishing right now. As you're watching this video, millions of microorganisms are living on your skin, inside your mouth, and throughout your digestive system. Surprisingly, most of them aren't harming you. They're helping to keep you alive and healthy. Although invisible to the naked eye, microorganisms are among the most powerful forms of life on Earth. They produce the oxygen we breathe, recycle nutrients that sustain ecosystems, help manufacture medicines, ferment many of the foods we enjoy, and in some cases, cause diseases that have changed human history. So what makes these tiny organisms so extraordinary? In this video, we'll uncover the fascinating characteristics of microorganisms and discover why these invisible life forms have such an enormous impact on our world. Let's begin our journey into the invisible world of microbiology, the feature that gives microorganisms their name. 1. Microorganisms are microscopic. The first and perhaps the most obvious characteristic of microorganisms is that they are microscopic. The word microscopic simply means too small to be seen with the naked eye. To observe them, we need specialized instruments known as microscopes. But just how small are microorganisms? These organisms are so incredibly small that you cannot see them with the naked eye. A single pinhead can hold thousands of bacteria, yet each one is a complete living organism carrying out all the processes necessary for life. Most bacteria measure between 0.5 and 5 micrometers in length. To put that into perspective, a single strand of human hair is approximately 70 micrometers wide. That means dozens of bacteria could fit across the width of just one human hair. Viruses are even smaller. Instead of being measured in micrometers, they are measured in nanometers, making them hundreds of times smaller than many bacteria. Here's another way to imagine their incredible size. Suppose a single bacterium were enlarged until it became the size of a football. If we enlarged a human being by the same proportion, that person would stand far taller than Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth. That comparison gives us a glimpse of just how incredibly small microorganisms truly are. Because they are invisible to the naked eye, scientists depend on different types of microscopes to study them. These include light microscopes, commonly used in teaching and clinical laboratories; fluorescence microscopes, which use fluorescent dyes to reveal specific structures within microorganisms; electron microscopes, capable of producing highly detailed images of organisms far too small to be seen with ordinary light microscopes, including viruses. Without the invention of the microscope, the science of microbiology would never have existed. Many of the discoveries that transformed medicine, agriculture, and public health would have remained hidden from human knowledge. But being microscopic is only the beginning of what makes these organisms so extraordinary. In the next point, we'll discover another remarkable characteristic. Microorganisms are found almost everywhere on Earth, from the deepest oceans to the hottest deserts, and even in places once thought to be completely uninhabitable. 2. They exist almost everywhere now that we've seen just how incredibly small microorganisms are. Here's something even more astonishing. Despite their microscopic size, microorganisms are found almost everywhere on Earth. Scientists describe them as ubiquitous, a term that simply means present in almost every environment imaginable. Wherever there is the possibility of life, chances are microorganisms are already there. They inhabit fertile soils that support agriculture, rivers and oceans teeming with aquatic life, and even the air we breathe. They live on the surfaces of plants, inside animals, and throughout the human body. In fact, your body is home to trillions of microorganisms, collectively known as the human microbiome. Most of these organisms live peacefully with us, helping to digest food, produce essential vitamins, and protect us from harmful pathogens. But their habitats extend far beyond the environments we encounter every day. Microorganisms have been discovered in scorching deserts, where temperatures soar above 50 degrees Celsius, in frozen glaciers, where temperatures remain below freezing for most of the year, and around deep-sea hydrothermal vents, where water temperatures can exceed 350 degrees Celsius. Some microorganisms thrive in highly acidic lakes, while others survive in extremely salty waters where very few other organisms can live. Even more remarkably, scientists have discovered microorganisms living several kilometers beneath the Earth's surface, deep inside underground rocks, where there is no sunlight. Others have been found in environments contaminated with radioactive materials, places once believed to be completely inhospitable to life. How can such tiny organisms survive under these extreme conditions? The answer lies in one of their greatest strengths, their incredible ability to adapt to different environments, a characteristic we'll explore in more detail later in this lecture. The fact that microorganisms can inhabit virtually every corner of our planet makes them one of the most successful groups of organisms in Earth's history. But while they may share the ability to live almost everywhere, microorganisms are far from being all the same. In fact, one of the most fascinating aspects of microbiology is the incredible diversity found among these tiny forms of life. Let's explore that next. Since microbiology is such an exciting field, is that the term microorganisms does not refer to a single type of organism. Instead, it includes an extraordinary variety of life forms with different structures, levels of complexity, and ways of surviving. Broadly speaking, microorganisms can be grouped into three major categories based on their cellular organization. The first group consists of prokaryotes. These are simple cells that lack a true nucleus and do not possess membrane-bound organelles such as mitochondria or chloroplasts. Their genetic material floats freely within the cell. Examples of prokaryotic microorganisms include bacteria and archaea. Although they are structurally simple, they are incredibly successful and can thrive in environments ranging from the human intestine to boiling hot springs. The second group is made up of eukaryotes. Unlike prokaryotes, eukaryotic microorganisms possess a true nucleus enclosed by a nuclear membrane, along with specialized membrane-bound organelles that carry out specific cellular functions. Examples include fungi, protozoa, and microscopic algae. These organisms are generally larger and more complex than bacteria and display a wide range of shapes, lifestyles, and methods of reproduction. Then we have a third. Viruses are unlike any other microorganisms because they are acellular, meaning they are not made of cells at all. Instead, they consist of genetic material enclosed within a protective protein coat. Unlike bacteria, fungi, or protozoa, viruses cannot grow, reproduce, or carry out metabolic activities on their own. To multiply, they must invade a living host cell and use the host's cellular machinery to produce new virus particles. This dependence on living cells is one reason scientists have long debated whether viruses should be considered truly living organisms. Together, prokaryotes, eukaryotes, and viruses demonstrate the remarkable diversity found within the microscopic world. Although they differ greatly in structure and complexity, they all contribute to the rich and fascinating field of microbiology. And despite these differences, many microorganisms share another remarkable characteristic: they can reproduce at astonishing speeds. In the next point, we'll discover how a single bacterium can multiply into millions within just a few hours, and why this rapid growth has enormous implications for medicine, food safety, and infectious diseases. 4. They reproduce rapidly. Have you ever wondered how something too small to see can multiply into millions within just a few hours? One of the most remarkable characteristics of microorganisms is their incredible ability to reproduce rapidly. Many bacteria multiply through a simple process called binary fission, where one cell divides into two identical cells. Those two become 4, then 8, 16, and the numbers keep growing exponentially. Under ideal conditions, some bacteria can double their population every 20 minutes. This rapid growth explains why food spoils quickly, why infections can spread so fast, and why scientists can grow bacteria overnight to study diseases and develop life-saving medicines. But that's not all. 5. They have remarkable metabolic diversity. Microorganisms are also amazingly adaptable. Some make their own food using sunlight, while others survive by feeding on dead organic matter or even chemicals like sulfur and iron in places where sunlight never reaches. This is why microorganisms can live almost everywhere on Earth. Imagine living in a world where your environment changes constantly. The temperature changes, nutrients scarce, and dangerous substances threaten your survival. For many living organisms, such drastic changes could be fatal, but microorganisms evolve quickly, and frequent genetic changes allow some bacteria to survive antibiotics, creating antibiotic-resistant strains. Others form protective structures called endospores, helping them survive extreme heat, dryness, and other harsh conditions. 7. They can be beneficial or harmful. When most people hear the word microorganisms, they immediately think of disease. Images of infections, outbreaks, and illness often come to mind, but this common perception tells only a small part of the story. The truth is that the overwhelming majority of microorganisms are either beneficial or completely harmless. Without them, human life and life on Earth itself would be impossible. Although some microorganisms cause diseases such as cholera and tuberculosis, the vast majority are beneficial. They help produce foods like yogurt and bread, improve soil fertility, support our digestion, recycle nutrients, and even contribute to the oxygen we breathe. Understanding both the beneficial and harmful aspects of microorganisms allows us to appreciate their true significance. They are neither entirely friends nor entirely enemies. Instead, they are incredibly diverse organisms whose effects depend on the species involved and the circumstances. As we conclude today's lesson, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered. The lesson is simple. Never underestimate something because it's too small to see. Microorganisms may be microscopic, but they are among the most powerful and important living things on our planet. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our future lessons. Thank you for watching and see you in the next lecture.